Thanks for responding so quickly. A warehouse near Canley got knocked off a couple of hours ago.
They stole a load of electrical items, kettles, toasters. DS Siddons has received a strong tip-off.
Big Frank Batley's in the frame.
Oh, brilliant.
Who's Frank Batley?
Oh, a right handful. Ex-rugby league player. Never comes quietly.
My snout's reliable, though. I think if we move now, we can nick him before he shifts the gear.
Fair enough, but all we need before breakfast is a punch-up with Big Frank.
Well, don't think CID aren't grateful. DS Dawson picked up teas and bacon rolls for you lads to have on the way.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Yeah, you see? It needs a woman's touch to think of things like that.
Thank you.
Bernard Scripps. Oh, sorry to hear that, yeah. Where? Well, you'd be better off calling the Co-op or Fred Jepson. They're both nearer to you. Really? No, what's his name again? Oh, can't say it rings any bells, no. You better give me some details.
That's the house. Sorry, the van, though.
Curtains are drawn. Looks like the wife's still in bed.
She could be an handful as well.
We need someone round the back.
Leave all that to us, eh? Your job's just to keep Tina Batley quiet. Oh, if there is a handbag fight, make sure you win.
He's on his way! Spotted the van a couple of streets away!
Positions, everyone, let's move it! Police officer!
Leave him alone, you bullies!
Stay out of it, Mrs. Batley.
Calm yourself.
Hey, get out! Where's your warrant? Police brutality, it is! You'll pay for how you break, I mean, pretty sure of that!
Hold on! Catch him up!
5 coppers to 1 man, you cowards.
Mind the shop, eh, David? I got funeral business.
Oh, early for all that, isn't it?
A lady the other side of Tapton died during the night. She personally requested that I look after her funeral, which is a bit odd.
Why? Isn't that what undertakers do, Bernie?
Well, there are others a lot nearer dawn, that's why, and best to my knowledge, I never met the woman.
Yeah, well, you know what they say. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, eh?
That's one way of putting it, I suppose.
You know, I always thought that was a stupid expression. I mean, why would anyone want to look in a horse's mouth anyway?
David, just...
There's some cotton wool in there. She'll keep blood from dripping on your shirt.
Thanks, Sergeant.
You nicked a lot more than this.
Oi! Which one of you thieving Torex has had my money? Someone's stolen my cash.
Oh, get lost, Tina.
400 quid off the sideboard.
Rubbish. Where would you get that sort of money?
I drew it out of the bank to buy a car.
Really? Well, we got what we came for. We don't need fairy stories as well.
I'll report you. Phone the papers. You're not getting away with it just because you're coppers.
Hold it. Are you serious alleging that a theft has taken place?
Yeah. My money's gone. And one of you lot must have swiped it.
If you're doing this to waste police time, you'll be down the station with your husband.
I'm not messing about.
All right. 4 officers went into your house. PC Mason and myself were only in the garden. Agreed? PC Mason will search the other officers in your presence. We'll also search your husband, who was in the house.
Oh, come on, it's obviously a try-on.
An allegation has been made. We'll deal with it correctly.
So you landed the job then, eh? Is it going to be a big do? Oh, will they be needing catering? Bernie? Oh, what's up with him? Looks like he's seen a ghost.
Right. Everyone's clean. Satisfied?
No. Must have been hidden somewhere.
Where do you suggest?
I don't know. Ask them. One of them's stashed it somewhere.
I'll get stuffed, Tina.
Mason, search the vehicles.
Hey, we should do her for wasting police time.
Damn right.
Sergeant Miller?
Is this your money?
No, of course not.
Told you. Thieving cow nicked it.
No, she didn't. You planted this money, you devious little tart.
That's enough, DS Siddons. Can you explain how this money got into your car?
No. No, I can't.
There's definitely something up. And he's barely had a word since he got back.
Don't you reckon he looks a bit depressed?
Well, it's sometimes hard to tell with Bernie. He's not one of life's natural smilers.
Oh, come on, Sarge. Nobody seriously believes that you took that money.
No, but unless I can prove it, it'll be her word against mine.
What, the word of a criminal's wife against a copper with a good record? She hasn't a hope.
But I still need her to admit she planted it. Otherwise, well, mud sticks.
Hey, don't worry, love. We'll sort it out one way or the other.
Thanks, Harry, for your support, but this is a police station, not a rugby scrum.
Nope.
HQ is sending a senior officer from the Durham force to handle the matter.
Mrs. Batley alleges £400 was taken from her sideboard during a police operation. An identical amount of cash was found in your police vehicle. So, how did it come to be there?
No idea, sir. I certainly didn't take it from the house.
You were in there for longer than the other officers, correct?
Yes, sir, but I wasn't alone. I was with Mrs. Batley the whole time.
Even so, with all that was going on, you had an opportunity to take money that may have been there, yes?
I don't recall seeing any money, sir. None of the other officers can either.
Well, possibly because your male colleagues were preoccupied with arresting a violent suspect. Well, did you see Mrs. Batley go near your car at any point?
No, sir, I didn't.
Did you return to your vehicle yourself during the arrest of Mr. Batley?
No, sir. Not until it was over. Sir, if I may say, this is clearly just an attempt by Mrs. Batley to hit back at us for arresting her husband.
Perhaps so, Sergeant. Perhaps so. But, under the circumstances, I have no option at present but to suspend you from duty with immediate effect. Warrant card, please.
Suspended. Barred from HQ, no contact with other officers. I've even got to catch the bus home because I'm not allowed to drive my police car. It's like I'm the criminal here, can you believe it?
The truth's bound to come out.
Oh, I damn well hope so.
We're going to have to help her, so we need to think about what we say when we're interviewed. Sarge, there's something about Tina Batley's appearance this morning that's been niggling me.
We can't have this conversation.
A surprise dawn arrest, yet she's fully dressed. Hair done, makeup, lipstick, the lot. It's 6 in the morning. Don't you think that's a bit odd?
Well, you might be right, Joe, and I do appreciate your concern, but you shouldn't get involved. I know I'm innocent, and I'm sure the truth will come out. Until it does, I just need to try and keep a cool head.
Oh, thanks, Oscar. I can't believe the shock it's given me. I've seen enough dead folk in my time, but Seeing her lying there. It was her married name I didn't recognise. I'd no idea this woman had turned out to be Amy. Amy Nightingale.
You knew her then?
Knew her? She was the love of my life. Yeah, I hadn't seen her since before the war. It was a real shock, I tell you.
Ah, I can imagine.
Yeah, all these years, I've never forgotten her. Never understood why one minute we were sweethearts, well, lovers, and the next she'd ended it and gone from my life. This morning I found out why. Her parents made her finish with me, sent her away to stay with an auntie. You see, she'd fallen pregnant.
What?
I never knew. Nobody told me. She had a daughter who was adopted at birth. After the family moved away, Amy met another chap and had a family of her own. Her husband died a few years back. Before she went, her conscience made her finally let me know the truth.
Good Lord.
Somewhere out there is a grown woman. My flesh and blood. My child. Child I never knew I had. Will you help me find her, Oscar? Please, will you help me find my daughter?
It just needs a couple of us to tell the DCI we saw Tina Batley near DS Dawson's car at some point. That'll give the impression that she planted the cash herself. An attempt to get back at us because we nicked her husband.
I'm not sure I did see her near the car.
That doesn't matter. Just tell him you did.
It does matter, DS Siddons. My officers will give an honest and truthful account of events. Anyone who attempts to do otherwise, whatever their motives, will face severe disciplinary action. Is that understood?
Yes, Sergeant.
PC with me. You first.
Well, I'm not surprised you leaded a large scotch. I mean, it'd shake me a bit if I suddenly found out I was a dad.
I bet it would. So you're going to help him find his long-lost daughter, then?
Well, I've told him it won't be easy. I'm not sure it's a good idea, anyway.
No, you should be careful and all. You know, she could be trouble. Young women these days. Oof.
Yes, indeed, Dawn. Good point.
I can understand him wanting to find her, though. I mean, he's never been married, and he hasn't really got anyone that close to him anymore.
Well, he was very fond of Rosie, but... Well, I mean, he's got us lot, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, but we're not flesh and blood, David. We're not as close as, say, you are to your Auntie Peggy.
Not the best example you could think of.
Well, it's probably set him thinking. Such a lovely thing to father a child.
Yeah. Once you've had a child of your own, they're always with you. Somewhere in your thoughts. It's true for me, too.
Oh, come on, you two. I'm going to shove off before the violins start.
You didn't see Mrs. Batley go anywhere near that car at any time, then?
No, sir. But she must have done, obviously.
How about DS Dawson herself? Did you see her go to her car before money was found?
No, sir. Well, yes. She did briefly.
Oh?
Yeah, to get the first aid kit. Some of us had cuts and things.
So before the money was discovered, DS Dawson did, in fact, go back to her car?
Yes, sir. But she didn't steal any money, sir. Mrs. Batley must have put it there.
Thank you, PC Younger. That's all.
I hope I haven't dropped her in it. Well, what else could I say? That's what I saw.
Don't know about you two. I could do with a pint.
Definitely. Me too. Joe?
No, I'll give it a miss tonight.
There's a sudden rise in the mercury. There's a thumping in my heart that just had to be. Is it a question of love? Is it a state of mind? No, 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 no. It's a question of temperature.
You're aware you've made a serious allegation. It could ruin a career.
She should have thought of that before she stole my money.
Making false allegations and attempting to pervert the course of justice are serious matters. You say you withdrew this money from the bank.
I were going to buy a car with it. And I will, soon as you lot give it me back.
I first to ascertain the cash found in DS Dawson's car is indeed yours. They were brand new notes. That shouldn't be too difficult to establish.
Carol, you've been trying to find out who your real parents were. I was hoping you could give us some tips.
Trying without success, I'm afraid. I've been in touch with Dr. Bernardo's and they're very helpful, but I haven't really got enough information to go on.
Oscar reckons we're not badly placed. We know where and when the baby was born.
You're doing better than I am.
Funny old world, isn't it? There's you, give anything to find out who your real mum and dad were, and now me, suddenly finding I've got an adopted daughter. I mean, a lass who could very well be like you, I suppose.
Shame the dates don't match. Make things a lot simpler, wouldn't it, if I was your long-lost daughter?
Yeah, that'd be really funny.
Why would having me as a daughter be so funny?
No, I didn't mean that. No, I'd love to have a daughter like you. No, I mean, well, at my age, having a nurse in the family might come in quite handy.
Look at him there. Asks me to come for a pint, then spends the whole time chatting to Jeannie.
Can I have a word?
You know I'm not allowed to talk to you.
I'm not here as a policeman. I'm here as a friend.
We're both taking a risk here.
Jeff didn't mean to drop you in it, but you should know that he told DCI Clegg that you went back to your car for the first aid kit before the money was found.
Oh, yes, of course. I think I forgot to mention that when he questioned me.
He may ask you about it again.
It hasn't made you lot doubt me, has it? Knowing I've been into my car?
Of course not. We all know that Tina Batley's behind this. I went back to her street this evening to make some inquiries about her.
You did what? Do you want to find yourself suspended as well?
In civvies. I was very discreet. Her neighbours reckon that Tina normally has late nights and sleeps in. Unusual for her to be up as early as she was today. Certainly dolled up like she was.
Perhaps she was just waiting for Frank to come home, or wanted to look her best.
Unlikely. Apparently the marriage is less than happy.
Look, Joe, there's no point in both of us ending up in trouble. You're risking your own career here, and you shouldn't be.
Look, I happen to think that you're good at your job. I don't want to see you lose it.
Thanks. That means a lot to me.
DS Dawson is an officer who commands a lot of respect. Not least from me. It's an absurd allegation. But we need to let DCI Clegg get on with the inquiry, and we must get on with our work now. Starting with stolen electric kettles and toasters. The warehouse owner has confirmed that a good deal more stock was taken than was found in Frank Batley's van. So, we need to keep our eyes and ears open for reports of any of these items turning up on the cheap. All right?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Morning. I shouldn't be here, I know. Short of getting Tina in the cells and beating the truth out of her, there's no easy way to prove that she planted it. So, we have to come at it another way. You go back to DCI Clegg and admit you did take the money from the house, but you didn't steal it. You had reason to believe that the banknotes were part of the proceeds from the robbery. Huh? Do you see what I'm saying? So you took the money, but it was a genuine mistake.
If I thought the money was the proceeds of a crime, why wouldn't I have said all that in the first place?
Because, in the light of her theft accusations, you panicked.
So you confirmed there was cash stolen from the warehouse? What would you expect in return?
Nothing. You've made it clear you don't fancy me. I just don't want Tina Batley to get away with this.
Well, thanks for your suggestion. DCI Clegg's asked to see me again today. I think I'll just stick to the actual truth.
That's up to you, love. Just want to help. But I know we've had our differences, but we're on the same side in this.
Hi, Jenny.
Hello, Joe. What can I do for you?
I've got a nephew in Scotland. It's his birthday next month, and I usually send him some money in a card. Do you think it'd be possible to get some brand new notes?
Of course, no problem.
All right, so people sometimes do that, do they? They specify that they want newly issued notes.
Sometimes. We paid out a large cheque in newly issued notes just the other day.
Really?
The lady insisted on all new notes. About £400, I believe it was.
All right. Well, thanks for your help. I'll pop in near at the time.
So have you found her then yet? I mean, no offence, I hope she's not too much like her dad. She won't be a laugh a minute if she is.
Hi, my name's Bernadette. It's being so cheerful that keeps me going.
Don't be mean. I bet Bernie was quite dashing as a young man, eh, Oscar?
Oh, I doubt it. I don't think Bernie's ever dashed anywhere.
I wonder what she's going to look like. Do you think she'll have them ears and a long nose and moustache?
All right, come on, that's enough.
Are you actually getting anywhere?
Well, it's more promising than I thought. That'll be for me.
PC Weatherby's picked up a whisper of somebody trying to sell electric kettles in a pub in Asheville last night. He's gone to investigate. I want you on call in case he finds anything.
How's it looking for DS Dawson, Sarge?
I'm supposed to stay impartial, and it looks as though she's really been stitched up.
Female CID sergeant. I'm the only one in the division. They might as well have printed my name.
It's not just you. This sort of press article damages the good name of the police service as a whole, Miss Dawson. The bank have now confirmed to me that the notes found in your car were those issued to Mrs. Batley. However, none of the other officers saw Mrs. Batley go anywhere near your car. So if she planted the money, how and when did she do it?
No idea, sir.
You, on the other hand, did return to your vehicle before money was discovered. You went to get a first aid kit, I believe.
Yes, sir, that's correct. I did.
You omitted to mention that when I first questioned you. Why?
I think, sir, I told you I didn't return to my car until the arrest was over, which was true.
But you were seen by another officer going into your car just before money was found in there.
Evening. Smart motor you've got there.
Don't start. At least it goes.
Sergeant's pay, I'd have thought you'd have something a bit more classy.
Finance companies are wary about giving single women credit.
Really?
Yeah. They think without husbands to look after us, we'll fail to make our repayments, you know. Fall pregnant, lose our jobs.
Ah, never thought about that.
Things are looking a bit bleak for me now. DCI Clegg's furious, the press have got onto it, and I think his priority is to see the police as a whole don't suffer for this.
Even if it means sacrificing a good officer to do that. Look, I don't think that Tina planted that money in the spur of the moment.
Really?
When she withdrew the money from the bank, she asked for new notes. She told us she was going to buy a car. Why would she bother getting new notes for that? She went to the bank the day before we turned up to arrest Frank. How did she know we'd be there?
You must have been tipped off somehow.
A snout told CID about Frank and the robbery at the warehouse. What if it was Tina who gave the information to the snout?
Why would she do that?
The Batley's marriage is rocky. If Tina and the snout are having an affair, say, tipping us off about Frank is the surest way to get him nicked and out of the way.
Frank doesn't suspect her because she acts the loyal wife. Sticks up for him when we lift him, then pulls a clever stunt in revenge for his arrest.
So who was the snout?
Siddons didn't say. He always plays his cards close to his chest. But he seems keen to nail Tina for this.
Then I'll have a word with him.
Joe? Thanks.
Don't mention it.
Oh, I'm not sure I want to know now.
Well, after all the work I put in.
Well, I do and I don't. I'm all butterflies. Have you found her then?
Well, not exactly, but I'm getting close. From the nursing home and the adoption agency records, I eventually found out the name of the couple who adopted the baby. I used an old retired CID friend of mine who lives in that area. He checked out the old electoral rolls going back to that time. Well, they disappeared off the rolls some time back. When my old friend visited their last known address, he discovered that they'd moved to somewhere near Whitby. So I checked out the current electoral roll in Whitby, and guess what, Bernie? They're on it.
So what are you saying, Oscar?
Well, what I'm saying is I haven't found your daughter yet, but I've managed to locate the whereabouts of the couple who adopted her.
Morning, Jeff. Oh, help. You're in trouble. There's been a call from the provincial...
Mason! My office! Now! What are you trying to do? Get yourself suspended as well?
Sorry, Sarge?
Sergeant! I've just had a call from the manager of the provincial bank. Apparently you were in there yesterday asking questions about Mrs. Batley's new banknotes.
Not exactly, Sergeant.
Don't flannel me, Mason. He was puzzled because he'd already talked to DCI Clegg about the matter. Now, you know that this is an internal police inquiry. You have no authority to be asking questions on your own or involving yourself in any way. That understood?
Yes, Sergeant.
Strictly speaking, I should report your intervention to DCI Clegg. I'm sure he would take a very serious view of the matter. But I am prepared, just this once, to see it as a crass and misguided attempt on your part to see justice done for a fellow officer. I want your full assurance that the matter of DS Dawson's suspension will be left entirely in the proper hands. Any more of this stupidity, you'll be out on your ear. That understood?
Yes, Sergeant.
Right. I'll get out.
Whitby. To think she might be that close. No, I'd better leave it. Best not to. Mind you, she might be like Carol, dying to know who her real mum and dad were. Then again, it could be an unwelcome intrusion in her life. Yes, no. Yes, I mean, better leave it. What do you think?
It doesn't matter what I think, Bernie.
I reckon Tina knew we were going to be there that morning to arrest Frank.
How? We obviously didn't tell her. And if she did know, why didn't she warn Frank we were coming?
I think she had her reasons. The only person who knew apart from us was the snout that gave you the tip off. I think he found out Frank's plans from Tina. I reckon they might have been having an affair. This was the perfect way for her to get shot of Frank.
Will it take a brave man to have a ding-dong with Frank's wife?
Can I ask you who your snout is?
He comes to me because he knows I keep it quiet. If it leaked out he was a grass, well, you can imagine he'd be in deep trouble.
Fair enough. But would you be prepared to try and find out what his relationship with Tina Batley is?
I can't see him risking something like that, but yeah, anything to help.
Right now, Rachel can use all the help that we can give her.
Rachel, eh? You're on first-name terms with DS Dawson, then, are you?
Why shouldn't I be?
Oh, I don't blame you for trying to be. Attractive woman. I always fancied to go at her myself.
You'll let me know about the snout, then? And probably best that we don't bother Sergeant Miller with all this.
Leave it with me.
I got the habit, and I can't kick it. Try to fight your love, and I can't kick it. Baby, I'm all strung out over you.
Hello, sweetheart. Nice surprise.
Don't be daft. On the doorstep.
Hey, no one's about.
Come in and shut the door.
There was no snout. Tina tipped off Siddons about the robbery. But why did she target you as well?
It must have been Siddons' idea. He's never forgiven me for turning down his advances. Kept suggesting we had a dirty weekend in Whitby. Some hotel he knows. This is his revenge, it seems.
All that talk about getting you off the hook. He's a convincing liar. He had his own going in the station.
We'll think if DCI Clegg clears me for lack of evidence, just by having me suspended, he's done enough damage to my reputation.
Question is, if they did plan all this together, how do we prove it?
There's a light, certain kind of light that's never shone on me. I want my life to be.
I'm not sure I can do this.
Bernie, it's easy. There's the bell. Just go up to it and press.
No, I can't. Let's just go home.
Oh, come on. I'm not toing and frying to Whitby all day while you keep changing your mind. Let's go.
No, hang on. All right, I'll do it. I'll talk to him.
Are you sure?
Yes, but I want you to come with me.
Oh, for goodness sake. All right, come on.
You'll have to grip me like I'm a prisoner in custody.
Just get your finger out and press.
To love somebody, to love somebody.
Stay. Ah, Mr. Penfold.
Mr. Scripps.
No, he's Mr. Scripps. I'm Oscar Blaketon. I'm with him because, well, he wants me to be.
You better come in.
I know it must have come as a shock to you. You'll appreciate that finding out late in life that I'm a father is for me, too. I never married and had children, you see.
Elsie, my late wife, couldn't have a baby of her own. That's why we adopted her.
What's she like? Don't even know her name. What did you call her, actually?
I'm not going to tell you, I'm afraid. I'm not going to tell you anything about her.
I thought you agreed to discuss these things with Mr. Scripps.
I agreed to meet him with one intention. To persuade him to drop the matter.
Well, I can see that from your point of view, Mr. Penfold, but what about your daughter? Has she ever expressed a wish to know who her real parents were?
No, she hasn't. She's no idea she was adopted.
I'm not sure it'll work. I've only got one shot at this. If it goes wrong, then...
Control to Delta Alpha 2-4.
Delta Alpha 2-4 receiving, over.
Don Weatherby called in for assistance. Reckons he's found Big Frank's fence.
Where is he?
Lock-up garages off Finlay Street.
On my way, out. Sorry, I'll call you later.
Lenny Parkin. Better known as Lenny the Fence. He's dead slippery. Been flogging the electrical stuff all over the last 2 days. Right, let's have him.
Oi, Parkin! What's all this then? What? Oh. Just put it down! Hey, stop messing about! Get back here!
Me and Elsie decided to bring her up as if she was our very own child. We felt she need never know. We didn't want her to have to endure the stigma of adoption. She thinks she's ours. If she finds out we've lied to her after all these years... Now, you found me, you can find her, but I'm begging you, please, leave well alone.
If I do, I'm left with nothing. I mean, I don't even know her name or what she looks like, my own daughter.
Biologically, perhaps, but in every other sense, she's mine.
Well, that didn't take long. Have a chip. Well, I've asked around, and she's living here too, Bernie. Her name is Ruth.
Ruth. Nice name, Ruth.
Yeah, 29 years old, married a couple of years to a chap called Gavin. He's got a pottery and a shop outlet somewhere around here.
She went for someone with his own business then, like me.
Now, according to the woman in the fish shop, Ruth is pregnant with her first baby.
Really? First I'm a dad, and now I'm going to be a granddad.
So what do you reckon?
Well, I don't know, Oscar. I mean, having come this far, well, whatever happens, at least I'd like to see what she looks like.
Well, that's what I thought, so I booked us into a B&B for tonight. And we'll see what tomorrow brings, eh?
Thanks for coming. I need your help. Let me get you a drink first. Scotch, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Losing my job would destroy me. It's my whole life. I'd do anything to keep it.
Anything?
If Tina was to come forward and admit she'd planted the money, she'd be in trouble, but her whole life wouldn't be ruined. Not like mine.
What do you mean?
Well, she could say she was angry about the police behaviour in her house. Crockery smashed, etc. The police were heavy-handed with Frank. She made up the allegation on the spur of the moment. Regrets it now. Having come forward voluntarily, she'd most likely get off with a strong caution.
But how do we get her to admit the truth?
I was hoping you might help me. I have a feeling you could persuade her.
Why should I be able to do that?
I picked up a whisper from a lad on the CID team that you might be close to Tina.
Oh, yeah? Who from, exactly?
It doesn't matter. They were very discreet. And I can be too. And I know you're very persuasive.
Well, I couldn't persuade you to come to Whitby for the weekend with me, could I?
As I said, I'd do anything to keep my job.
Tempting. But no, sorry, can't help you. Oh, and I interviewed Mrs. Batley in relation to offences her husband's charged with, that's all. And that little whisper you picked up, it's wrong. I'm not a mug, Rachel.
You. I'm not going to let you ruin a decent officer's career.
She stole my money.
No, she didn't. You cooked this up with Siddons. You betrayed your husband and you framed DS Dawson. And if you don't come clean, I'll make sure that Frank knows all about your infidelity. I think we both know what his reaction might be.
You wouldn't dare. Anyway, I'd never believe anything a copper said.
You sure about that, Tina? I've heard that Frank is a very jealous man. Imagine what he'd do if he suspected his wife was messing around with a CID officer. Who'd protect you then?
No. No, Harry said we had nothing to fear. And that if you were to come bothering me, I was to phone Sergeant Miller in Ashfordley. You've no proof. No right to be here.
All right, then. Colin.
Right, Bernie, you never have a better opportunity. Up there on the headland, sitting on a bench, knitting.
Oh, you better get the right one. What does she look like exactly?
How many 29-year-old pregnant women do you think will be sitting on that bench, knitting? Just go.
If I could save time in a bottle, the first thing that I'd like to do save every day till eternity.
Hello. Lovely view, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, Sarge, but if she's not already done so, Mrs. Batley's about to call you. I've just been to see her.
You've been where?
Expect that'll be for the baby.
Yes. It's a shawl. I'm a bit nervous. It's our first one. Have you got children yourself? Grown up now, I suppose.
Yes, I have a daughter.
You've got nice, kind eyes. I bet you're a lovely dad.
Not about that.
I'm very lucky. My dad's really smashing. The best. My mum was too. She died, sadly, before I fell pregnant. At least she knew we were trying for a baby.
I'll record this visit as a follow-up interview about the robbery. But we've got to be really careful from now on.
I called you because PC Mason came around. He knows Harry.
No need to panic. All he's got is suspicion, not proof. There is nothing in writing or anything to incriminate us.
He knows I tipped you off about Frank.
Well, don't worry. I've talked to one of my regular snouts. He's prepared to say he gave me the info if necessary.
And what about the money in the car?
No one saw me plant that cash. They can suspect all they like. They've no proof.
We have now, dear Siddons.
A good to be alive kind of day, isn't it? I love it here. The sea. Anyway, it was nice to meet you. Enjoyed our chat.
Ruth.
How do you know my name?
I'm sorry, it's presumptuous on me. I went in your husband's pottery shop once and I heard that somebody called you that.
Right. Well, what did you want to say?
Well, it's none of my business, of course, but if you have a go, what about the name Amy?
Amy. It's nice, Amy. Simple. I'll put it down as a suggestion. And if it's a boy?
I don't know. Your dad sounds a nice chap. Perhaps he could be named after him.
We'll see. Bye then.
If I had a box just for wishes and dreams that had never come true, the box would be empty except for the memory of how they were answered by you.
Is that a tear I detect in your eye?
It'd be daft as the wind.
Did you tell her?
No. No. She's very contented. She's a bright, cheery, optimistic young woman. She loves the dad she already has. Best leave it.
Bright, cheery, optimistic, eh?
Oh, yeah, she's my daughter, all right, yes. Yeah. Spitting image in every sense.
Oh, Bernie. Come on, I'll buy you a drink.
Cheers. You get off, Sarge.
All thanks to PC Mason.
Stop it, I'm blushing.
Come on, let's grab a seat.
Oh, thanks, Oscar. Painful in the end, but I decided some things are best left as they are.
You did what was best for you in your particular circumstances.
For the best all round, I reckon. How about you and Joe? No regrets?
No. Some things just run the course. Like you said. Best left as they are.
I am very grateful.
I said before, you're a good copper.
Well, a lot of other male colleagues might have done it wanting something in return. But you had no ulterior motive. I respect that.
Can't be easy, I guess, being a woman in an all-male world, like the Force.
No, it's not.
That's not to say that I don't find you attractive, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, no offence, but I would never proposition a female colleague, especially a senior officer.
But who do you usually proposition, then?
I don't. I tend to let the women make the first move, just to avoid misunderstandings.
Oh, you like the woman to make the first move, do you?
Mm.
How about a dirty weekend in Whitby, then?
Hang on. You're not being serious.
I think it's just a bit too soon to be going up to my room, Johnny.
Quel dommage.
Right, blaze away after 2. 1, 2! Bill told you about his new lady love, has he? Everybody's talking.
Hi, you're not usually here on a Saturday.
No. Morning, Sergeant Dawson.